What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles. You are listening to Lyles Movie Files. It's Wednesday. We're expecting a big snowstorm here in the DMV. Little brother, are you fully stocked up in the fridge and ready to hunker down?
Oh, yes, I'm totally ready for the 2 inches of snow we're going to be buried with.
Yeah, that's like the running joke in the DMV. They say 10 inches, we prepare for 5 or 3. It's never as much as they say.
It just missed us.
Yeah, exactly. So, bro, I know you're not going to believe this, but we shot the episode, we recorded, and then all heck fell out hours after we finished our show. Just as normal.
Was it even hours or like 2 seconds after we hung up?
I think it was a good, at least a half hour. But anyway, let's talk about it. Gina Carano quietly, silently fired from her role in The Mandalorian due to her controversial retweets of or sharing of comments on Twitter. And it doesn't seem like now that Disney has any plans to recast our girl Cara Dune, which would be the great travesty of all. What's your thoughts on this?
I wish they would recast her. I mean, I don't know where they're coming up with this whole we can't recast people. I mean, Chadwick was an unfortunate. This is someone's intentional moron move, who basically is, almost been trying to get fired from that job almost since she's had it. Gina Carano, this is the first break you've had in a long time, and I think it was just like it's really stupid to lose that opportunity basically because you can't take politics out of your work. But I'm hoping Disney recasts the role. Reconsiders it and recasts the role and because it's almost like you're going to take out Carl Weathers' role a little bit by getting rid of her. So maybe
recast. Do that at all. You could just hire another Marshall.
But I'm hoping they just they're like, you know what, this person, the role isn't gigantic, but let's have somebody else do the role so we can continue. If we want to continue those easy stories, we can make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But in the fallout of this is Hasbro is basically confirmed that they will not be putting out any new Cara Dune action figures. So it has sparked this flurry of people trying to cop all of the remaining Cara Dune figures they can find.
So I'm wondering how much they're going for on Amazon right now. If Amazon's even selling them.
So here's the thing, right? Last time I checked, you could not actually there weren't any ones available. Let me check right now because this is always exciting podcast to hear people on the computer. But I did a quick Cara Dune search on the great Amazon and nothing showed up. So they may have wiped out all the product. No, here's one. I had to go pretty far down and it is currently unavailable. And you can get one right now through a third party on Amazon for the low price of $204.
This is, I don't even want to say, to think that character is going to be immortalized in anybody's life is a great character that requires a $240 character. I just don't think there's going to be a big Cara Dune secondhand market 10 years from now. So it just seems like a waste.
I don't know, man. Cara Dune was a cool character on The Mandalorian. And the thing is, Hot Toys just posted a picture of their latest figures from The Mandalorian. So they teased a Boba Fett, and last night they also teased a Bo-Katan. And I'm kind of thinking, man, where was Cara Dune slotted in this assortment? Because if they're going into season 2, we probably should have had a Grief Karga, but we definitely would have gotten a Cara Dune if somebody didn't insert foot into said mouth and then proceeded to tweet and type on their keyboard.
Yeah, I'm sure the guy who was doing the modeling, she said, what? Oh, great.
Mother F, yeah.
Just throw that one over the head and forget it.
Yes. All right.
Now you
Well,
remember Superman 2 from I'm sorry, Superman 3, where the guy smashes a statue of Pisa where they got straightened up?
yes, of course. What are you talking about? Do I remember that? Of course. He just goes off and he asks his assistant for the broom and just proceeds to smash them to pieces. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's probably you're probably right. So on the DC side of things, Zack Snyder, of course, released a new trailer for the Snyder Cut of Justice League. We got to see the Joker, and he referenced a meme that I have no idea because I'm not hip and cool enough to know all these latest fads and don't care. But social media apparently went wild. You saw it. What did you think of it?
Okay. Like the trailer, I mean, it looks like, I mean, I like seeing that Apocalypse in there, like Apocalypse was a thing. I'm like, why did they think that we needed not to put the potential Thanos in this movie? Why the hell did they let Josh Whedon take him out? I'm just like, and making Steppenwolf look like he is the prelude to the big bad also would have been a whole lot better idea. I thought that they should have gone with a director who was much more tonally in sync with Zack Snyder than trying to go in the Josh Whedon route. Because
So the real question is how quickly will DC slash Warner Brothers make the Snyder Cut the official version of Justice League so they don't have to mention Josh Whedon and credit him whatsoever in their version of the movie? Except like
Josh who?
this never existed. Just kidding. This is a test, a placeholder version. Here's the only version of this movie that's ever existed.
I mean, again, you can't watch the theatrical cut of Dawn of Justice on HBO Max. Pretty much tells me everything I need to know about, unless somebody actually dies miraculously, like Quicksilver in this movie. I'm thinking you just have to go with this is the movie, and we're gonna go from there. I did like the fact that, like I said, Jared Leto looks like an extension of Heath Ledger's Joker. Looks like he's been in jail for a while, in Arkham for a while, and now he's coming back out to lead Batman on the world of whatever he's doing. So I'm I'm excited. It was really my main reason for getting HBO Max, and it looks like it'll be worth it.
Well, as far as HBO Max, they've got a great deal with all these movies coming out. We'll get into this a little bit later, but we're going to see the Mortal Kombat trailer. Of course, not tonight, but tomorrow. So I am very much looking forward to that because it actually looks like they're going to do it justice this time. No pun intended. Gunner, Chief, what do you guys think about this Snyder Cut trailer of Justice League? Does it make you more or less excited about seeing this thing next month?
I am even. I still want to see it. I'm still excited about it, but it didn't add or subtract anything. It was like, okay, cool. Oh, we do get the black Superman coming back to life suit. So cool. That's what we wanted in the last movie, along with Darkseid and a few other things, obviously, that Jason mentioned. But, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, it looks like it's like old movie versus, here's some snippets of the Justice League doing things so that we can make money. You know what I mean? That was the last movie felt like. I liked the snippets. It just didn't seem like it went together.
Man, my toes hurt, Gunner.
I don't even have toes. Damn, I didn't even say booyah. He didn't even say booyah once, did he?
No. Watching the movie through, like, sort of recent lenses, I can really see where Josh Whedon threw in his take on Justice League and what is Zack Snyder's. Because if you watch those movies all together and then you watch them like in a binge format, it's like a screeching halt in terms of the tone Snyder sets up and what Josh Whedon interjects in.
This is very true.
Chief, what's your take on it?
I just was looking at the trailer as we were speaking. The trailer looks damn good. It's damn good. Yeah, this is the movie we should have had but didn't. Everything on it just looks like it's action everywhere you look. It's gonna be. It just looks like it's gonna be good, man. And hopefully this will drum up enough support so that we can get another Superman movie. and they'll go back into the war room and do Wonder Woman properly again.
That would be a great thing. Here is something sort of puzzling, sort of confusing, sort of on par for DC Warner Brothers. I don't know why I always say DC, but it's Warner Brothers. Zack Snyder said on a recent discussion that Warner Media really has no interest in moving forward with a sequel to the Snyder Cut Justice League, which will probably be the definitive version of Justice League. And we will all go, hey, remember way back when there was a version that Josh Whedon, that sexual harasser, terrible, toxic workplace dude that everyone hates now? Yeah,
Right.
he was on a Justice League movie. Really? What was that like? Oh, it was terrible. There was a Russian family that had some insect spray. It was terrible. But apparently Warner Brothers has no interest in making a sequel to the Snyder Cut of Justice League. And Snyder admitted, I didn't think I was going to get a chance to finish Justice League. So who knows what'll happen. But what is your thing? What's your thought on this? Are we going to possibly get a sequel if there's enough interest, enough fanfare? I'm not sure how there will be, based off the fact that it may be hard to qualify how much money Warner makes from the Snyder Cut on HBO Max, unless it gets to theaters.
Again, Warner Brothers had no interest in making the Snyder Cut until the fans told them make the Snyder Cut. I mean, Henry Cavill said make the Snyder Cut. It's like basically it's like Warner Brothers doesn't move on good business opportunities until the fans tell them to do it. Like, hey, would you want to have another sequel to Man of Steel? Nah. Hey, make a Man of Steel. Oh, I guess we're in the Man of Steel business now. Oh, who knew?
Exactly.
So whatever Warner Brothers says on that, it's like I put that with a grain of salt. Like, sure, right. I mean, you're smart as Fox not knowing how to make a Deadpool with Ryan Reynolds. So I don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna figure it out and make the daggone cut. And if not, if they're not a sequel, they'll continue that storyline if it's not a direct sequel. But it'll be in that universe from now on, I think.
Absolutely. I think that is going to. I agree. I'm just like, they can say that now, but I was gonna compare it to Iron Man 1, and did we know this was all gonna come out of this? You know what I mean? They're gonna say fanfare, let's go. But I think that's actually an even false equivalent. I'm thinking more of lines of
set up for sequels.
Right, like they was set up for a sequel. This was like, let's just redo the damn thing. So now they're redoing it, and then if you got, I've been an HBO Max fanboy for a minute when I learned that all the DC video content and all the old stuff was gonna go to HBO Max, and I get all the shows that I want to see on HBO Max. Cool. So, they're gonna do movie too? Perfect. So now I'm looking at it, and now all of a sudden I see the Justice League, whatever thing in the background. And they had the nerve to say, you asked for it, here it is, or something to that effect. And I'm like, see, you know what we also asked for? A good Suicide Squad. You know what we also asked for? A better Wonder Woman 1984. You know what we also asked for? Freaking Flash to be the same Flash from the TV show. You know what also we asked? And then you see that they're making up for all the things that we asked for. Like Wonder Woman 84, they're going to have to do something with that. They have to make fun of it in the next movie or something like, well, in the 80s it was weird, and that's it. That's all they needed to say, something like that. Anyways, there's gonna be a couple sequels because they're just gonna listen to the fans, and the fans are gonna. If this is really good, which it looks like it might be, they're gonna change that tune immediately after. Like, well, I guess we're doing another Justice League.
The only question I have is how they're going to do in terms of the money. Like, I understand if it gets to theaters and it makes whatever, they'll go, okay, yeah, we should definitely do this. But if it's, we don't know about theaters reopening and question mark if it'll be a deal of they have to wait until theaters reopen, or if it's just, we would love to have done that, but COVID just prevented it from happening because we weren't going to be able to make our money back on it. Chief, what do you think about this?
Money talks. Everything else walks. So if they realize that the Snyder Cut is the best, which I think they generally will or do already, they're going to have to go with them. You know what I mean? They're going to have to go with them. They're going to have to go with the money. a DC can't be in, in the clear. They've got to be somewhat in the red behind all that's happened. Maybe if this Corona never happened and people went to the movies for Wonder Woman and people went to, people were going out and seeing some of these things and paying, good money, but you had to spend probably at least $300 million making Wonder Woman, or the travesty it was. You didn't recoup that. Snyder looks like he's gonna have the movie that should have been made. What are you gonna do? You're gonna tell the dude, we're not gonna hire you to make any movies when there's so much, so much talk surrounding his cut and surrounding what he can do or bring to these movies. What are you gonna do? You're gonna have to go with him. That's what the people want. You know what I mean? And that's what your pockets are gonna demand eventually. Like it's gonna get to the point where you're going to have to do something that people are interested in seeing. And if this guy brings it to the DC universe, then it is what it is.
What's interesting is that I don't know if Warner Brothers could have mapped the release of Wonder Woman 1984 better, because they had the built-in excuse of the coronavirus, and we needed to put it out. I was looking because I was curious to see how much it made and how much it was bringing in. It cost $200 million, and it earned $131.4 million worldwide. So that's a huge hit from its profitable super release of the first Wonder Woman. But at least they can say, but COVID. If they had released that, if they had kept waiting and put it out in theaters, and people who had been waiting to go to theaters went to see it, I think it would have made less money, because people were like, "Are you kidding me? I waited all this time for this crap."
You think it would have made less? Okay, maybe.
No, I think the word of mouth would have hit that one hard.
You think about all the reviews, they would have been like, "Tell your friends this movie is garbage. Like right now, do not see it. We finally saw this movie. There's no embargo. It's crap." And I think a lot of us. I mean, you think about how bad was it? Justice League was hit by bad word of mouth. I'm sure people will be like, if you tell me that one's bad, because you said Wonder Woman was good, now you tell me this is crap, I'll believe it's crap.
Yeah, they don't have the audience goodwill that a Marvel film does. So if somebody was like, "Oh, this Marvel Eternals, it's not a good movie," people would be like, "Really? It's Marvel. I'll give it a shot." And they would pay money just to make sure that the word of mouth was wrong. Whereas people would believe negative word of mouth for a DC film, like, "Oh yeah, because I didn't like anything after Man of Steel. I didn't like anything after Batman: Dawn of Justice." Jay King, what do you weigh in on this deal? Are we going to get a sequel to Snyder Cut if it's successful and gets more subscribers to HBO Max, even if it doesn't get a good theater rollout?
Oh, if it makes money. You know how that goes, Jeff. If it makes money, they're going to do it again. So nice they had to do it twice. As long as it makes money, they'll find a way.
That's really all we can ask for. But apparently, Zach is going to give us a little bit more than we asked, because we are going to see 100%, according to Zack Snyder, Harry Lennox, Martian Manhunter, and maybe one other superhero.
So they're actually uniting the 7.
Yeah, dude, I've been rallying this forever. But yeah, one more hero. Any bets on who that guy could be?
Lantern.
Jace, what you got?
I got Shazam, actually, because they had the other Shazam in there. You could put the Wizard in there and not rattle too many feathers.
Okay.
Maybe that's why he's tired enough that he needs to give his power.
Chief, how about you? Who would you want to see in there?
Superman.
No, man. Superman's already in the movie. We're talking about the Snyder Cut. He's adding another.
Oh, you're talking about he's added a character to the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Who else is there? Are they gonna take out what's the dude's name? The metal dude.
Cyborg? Nah, man. He's adding one more. bringing another one to the
No,
party.
I'm saying that you take Cyborg out.
You said Cyborg.
Mother Box is
Okay,
coming after us.
Or a Nighthawk?
Nighthawk.
Isn't that Robin became what's the right Nightwing?
Nightwing.
There we go. A Robin or a Nightwing?
No. I mean, they gotta introduce him in Batman first. Jay King, how about you?
Wonder Twins.
Get out of here. Get all out of here. The Wonder Twins.
I do want to parody Wonder Twins movie though. If y'all remember some years back now when Adult Swim was really starting to get popular. You remember that shit? Oh
Harvey
my
Birdman.
God. Yeah.
Which is on HBO Max, by the way.
Dude, it's still on YouTube.
How do you know Wonder Woman was there?
Dude, they got them old Wonder Twins cutaways where they were like the worst superhero duo ever.
That joint was hilarious.
That has to be made into something, man. That shit was hilarious. I would love to see them do that.
Hilarious.
That seems more like an internet meme. So apparently, who we're gonna see is Green Lantern.
Oh, great.
I mean, we did see that tease in that opening sequence of Justice League, so that doesn't sound that crazy. And maybe we don't actually see him in action. We see the ring come to Hal Jordan, John Stewart, whoever.
But say, have they kind of said, like, is that last scene from the CW verse? Does that mean anything, or kind of?
No. What? They have no idea what they're doing.
Okay, I was like,
you guys are doing something over there with Green Lantern? Oh, weird. Wow. Okay.
You're right.
Nope. They're so disconnected. It's amazing that they're still like they didn't just take the whole pandemic off and go, hey, maybe we should map out a plan for our universe. Nah.
I mean, it's like we literally did the show on a like, hey, we're announcing an HBO Max Green Lantern show. Oh, you guys gonna bring Diggle? Who? Oh.
Right. Who's this now? Is he a video game character? All right. So, moving on to slightly more DC news. There is going to be a Constantine spinoff of the upcoming Justice League Dark series on HBO Max. And it is now going to star, of course, John Constantine, featuring kind of more of a Hellblazer focus. But just for you guys, to make sure that we are inclusive and diverse, it is going to be they're looking for a BIPOC actor in their late 20s. Gunnar, help me out. What's the BI for?
Black, Indigenous, people of color. I think. I don't remember, man.
Okay.
There's so many things out here that
so many acronyms
black people into everything. Yeah.
The important thing is it's going to be a colorful John Constantine. What do you guys think? Do you care? Will it work? Or why does Matt Ryan not have a job?
Why does Matt Ryan not have a job?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I mean, call me a purist. I mean, that'd be great, but we don't need, and I think we've had this discussion in many episodes, we don't need a new, you know what I mean, a new version of the same characters. You know what I mean? Why don't you just make new black characters? What a freaking concept of just making new black characters. Marvel does. Just making new characters that are.
Hold on real fast. Because my cousin, who I appreciate so much, goes to the comic book store pretty much every week. And occasionally when we meet up in this COVID era, I get bags and bags, like pounds of comic books of Marvel, basically, because I review DC books because DC's awesome. And I read like a slew of Marvel books, and Marvel basically has a bunch of people of color taking up roles of other characters, and it's just like, Miles is Spider-Man.
Ultimate Universe.
Okay, no, I'm talking about Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like
it's like they have other people, like they have two Wasps running around now because it's like, well, why not?
Sure.
Why not? You got two Hawkeyes running, but they're not like established. Like they've gone and worked real hard to handle the LGBT category of their universe, but
Hmm.
in terms of making Black, Asian, Latino, Muslim characters of any prominence, they haven't really done that. They've done Kamala
Miles
and Miles.
Morales
They've done those two.
and Kamala. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that's a
But I
start.
mean, if
That's
you
pretty
look at
established.
everything else, yeah, they're working on them. But I'm just saying, they still don't have
Shang-Chi,
like, if you were to go, hey, who's the big Marvel Latinx character? Who would you say?
Miles Morales. He's
Right,
Afro
and
Latino.
he covers two boxes. But I'm
Right.
saying it's just like, you don't have to go. I wrote this on Twitter. You don't have to go, hey, like if I were to go, who is the Black woman on X-Men? You wouldn't have to be like, let me think about that for a second.
Right.
You
But I didn't
wouldn't
have to think
go,
about Miles Morales either.
yeah. You
What do you
would,
think?
if I were to say, hey, remember the Black dude on X-Men?
Yes, Bishop.
Yeah, exactly. Or hey, what about the Black girl on Justice League? You would have to pause for a long time and then go,
Right.
oh yeah,
The B
Vixen.
chick.
Right. It's
Or the B chick. Like,
exactly.
there's only two. There's only two,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah. What about that Teen Titans one? So that's what I'm saying. They
Yeah.
need to work
Yeah.
on that just overall. And
Sorry, I missed your
I'm
point
with you.
earlier.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. You're right.
I'm with
You're right.
you that making a POC Constantine doesn't fix the real issue of not having more characters instead of just, hey, this is the new one. And I hate this idea in the sense that they already have a really great Constantine in live action that they should just use instead of let's switch it all up again and make it confusing for people who are like, why does DC not have this stuff set up in a cohesive universe? Chief, help me out, please.
I like Matt Ryan as Constantine. And speaking to that effect, man, I think sometimes I understand that we're trying to include everybody nowadays in these movies and try to represent all cultures and colors and backgrounds. But I mean, I didn't like I watched Constantine. That was my show. I didn't have a problem with the actor who was Constantine. I didn't, I didn't sit there watching saying, they need more black people in it. Matter of fact, there was a, you know what I mean, like, or this guy would be better black. Matter of fact, they had my man from Oz in it. Yeah. So he was in the show with them.
Yeah.
So
He
I
was like
like
a main
his
character.
what was his name?
Harold Perrineau.
Yeah. So, and I liked his role. Matter of fact, he one of my favorite episodes with the Fallen Angel. He was in. That was right. That episode was the shit. And so I just think sometimes they go too far in order to please the masses and take out people who are already perfect for the role. That Constantine was fine with me. Keanu Reeves' Constantine was fine with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have a problem with like I want to see, and not just black people, but different races, period, in movies. Like, I think that movies should represent the world as it is, rather than just a all Caucasian world or however you say it. But not everything needs to be like, not everything needs to be, oh, okay, well, we're going to change everybody black. Because then that's just
right.
That's having everybody white.
Mm-hmm.
There's great black supporting actors who make a show really good. I mean, if we had a show, we could do a show on supporting actors who made the movie better, even though the main actor was there. I'm sure. So
yeah, that sounds like a good show, actually.
So it just was just one of those things where, yeah, I like Constantine, I like Matt Ryan. I didn't think we needed a person of color. I didn't think we needed a person. I think you just needed to hire the old guys back and give them back their jobs. I mean, I think you cut Constantine already too soon because it was a damn good show. And just let the guy do his thing. Just like when we wanted Flash, we didn't want the Flash we got. We thought the Flash that played Flash should have been Flash. You know what I mean? Like, we weren't saying, oh, this should have been a person of color. Flash should be black now. No, that's okay that he's not black. It's just give the guys who already are playing these characters some chances. So that's how I feel about it. I mean,
Yeah. Javon, I want to ask you this. I'm fading in a little bit to bring in something else. CW was working on a Wonder Girl live action series, and I was very excited about this because it was going to star the Brazilian Wonder Woman that we were introduced to in Future State. Her name is Yara Flor. The 2 issues that she was in for her standalone were great, like 2 of the best in Future State. Clearly, Yara Flor was not white, black, or Asian. But I'm curious, from your perspective, you're a father. You don't have white girls. You don't have black girls. Or you don't have.
I got around.
Yeah, right. So, for you, is that diversity important, or is it just kind of like, whatever?
As long as it's not token diversity, you know what I mean? As long as you're not just putting them there to say you did it. I hate that when you see, okay, ethnic representation, but not really, because you don't really have a role in this show. You're just here to fill a quota. Mm-hmm. If they have a predominant role where they're actually having lines and an impact and a story arc here, then great. I don't want you to just say you added people or added some kind of this representation just to say you've done it, and that's it. That's the end of the story.
Right.
So as long as they serve a purpose in it, that's wonderful. That's fine, and that's how it should be.
Good deal. Okay. So my wife and I, we watched This Is Us. And This Is Us gets very interesting sometimes with their storylines. Gunner, have you watched this last episode?
I have not watched the last 3 episodes. Sorry.
All right. I'm not spoiling too much about this episode for you. You guys are familiar what month we're in now. It's February, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Now, according to Vince McMahon, this is the month we celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks.
Pretty much.
Right.
In some states, yes.
But it kind of blows my mind that, did you know there were other black people that did things that we could recognize during Black History Month?
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Seriously?
Yeah. So this week's episode of This Is Us actually focused on someone who's not black who created something, which I thought was like, okay, you guys are kind of missing the point.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
When you watch it, please let me know what you think about it, because I had all kinds of thoughts. Like, yeah, you guys are missing it. Now, I know you guys...
George Washington Carver, they just did George Washington?
I mean,
it is President's Day, I guess. I don't know.
No, dude, it wasn't even a president. When you watch it, let me know, because I thought it was hilarious. And yeah. Jason and I, so we go from there. We talk about diversity in comic book shows, and This Is Us. Jadelle, a show that Jason and I have been watching very strongly this year, The Bachelor. And The Bachelor has taken on so much controversy in these last few weeks. Bro Shot, can you explain it for the rest of the fellas who have no idea what's going on?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys have paid attention, but this season features the first Black Bachelor. He's had a very diverse cast. I don't know where everybody is, so I'm not going to spoil what happened.
I'm caught up.
Okay, so last week...
I will never watch it, so go.
Yeah, you feel free.
Yeah, okay, so last week he got rid of the deaf girl, probably made it... I wouldn't be surprised if she was the next contestant.
Let's try hearing impaired, because I think
I'm sorry, I did not... Okay, that was a miss on me. Okay, yeah. My bad. All right, so... I think she's probably, like, they're probably considering her for the next Bachelorette or something. She has a cool story. But in like the top 5, I think we're in, or top 4 or 5 now. Yeah, the final 4. One of the contestants, I guess, went to a antebellum ball in 2018. Probably with all of the trappings of the South. I didn't see the picture online, but it may have. Did you see it, Jeff?
I haven't, but yeah, I think it was one of those college deals where, hey, let's dress up like we're at a Southern ball.
Yeah. So, and I don't know if she like went to school in the South, but all trappings of early Gone with the Wind were there.
I say.
With that, the show, because she's one of the top 4 contestants to find love on the show. The host
to be featured on a TV show for 8 weeks and maybe find love.
Maybe find love, or to find your 3 more seasons of reality TV show. Who knows?
Never. Let's not be cynical.
But the host. Yeah, the guy, Chris Harrison, who's been a host of The Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise, Bachelorette, for 20 plus seasons. This is the 25th season of The Bachelor. I don't know if he was trying to be overly protective of this person, of the girl, because she was one of the top 4 contestants. But he talked to the first black Bachelorette on her show, on Extra, and he was kind of like, yeah, this is no big deal, 2018, plenty of people went to this, and she correctly like, are you insane? Like, have you lost your full mind? It's not even like you could say, oh, it was 1980 and you did it. It's like, that was 3 years ago. How do you do that? And now you're on the show trying to marry the first black bachelor. Like, are you insane? So he kind of like, oh, it's just woke culture, and it's everybody's just making too big a deal. Within 2 days, I'm going to be taking some time. Chris Harrison said, I'm going to be taking some time away from the show because ABC rightfully dragged me in here and said, you need to sit all the way down. And the girl, to the girl's credit, she's like, yeah, I looked at it. Y'all rightfully called me out on it. It was racist. I need to learn better. I need to be better. Like, I got no excuse. That was just racist.
But there's more. She's from West Virginia. So I'm saying this for some context. Apparently on her Instagram, she likes some pictures that has a Confederate flag in there. I'm not sure. Yep. I haven't seen these pictures if the Confederate flag is, hey, we're the runners up to the Civil War, pride, or if it was one of her friends who had one hanging in the background because, hey, I remember back in the day when my great granddaddy told me that time he surrendered when they lost the fight. Yes. So there's also that, and Chris Harrison was like, yeah, Rachel, is that a bad look in 2021 to see that picture in 2018? She's like, no, Chris, that's a bad look in 2018. What would I have been at this party in 2018? What would I have represented? And he was like, oh, right.
Yeah, it was. I think I don't know if he was having some drinks with, what's the name of the bartender before he had the interview, but it was not.
I 100% think it was because they wanted her to be the next Bachelorette. So he was trying to prop her up and protect her, be a shield, so she didn't have to deal with that and could be their shiny new toy for another season of The Bachelorette. But
yeah, in this era, you can't, you're not sparkling clean, because now I've actually watched a couple of these seasons. I watched Colton's season, and I'm like, how many of these girls were Bachelorettes? Like Tasha, there's like at least 3 of them, and Heather made an appearance too. So it was like, Colton's season will never die. But this now is like, you're not gonna be able to let that fly. It's like, Just go with kind of find Piper or one of the other top 10 because that, yeah, like you're not gonna let that fly now. It's just that ship sailed. Move on. If she's not the winner, you're gonna have to do an interview show and like, so we saw your apology on Instagram. Would you like to say something now to kind of clear the air? And I mean, to her credit, she's like, yeah, I was wrong, but that her being the Bachelorette is probably not gonna happen now.
Yeah, she also had a high school classmate say that she bullied her because she was dating a black guy. Oh no!
Man.
Yeah, it's bad, fellas. So I brought all that up because I know you will never watch The Bachelor. Is there any possible way that these shows could make it so you watch it? Because a problem that I'm having watching Matt James, the first Black Bachelor, he is a whack dude. And he has no swag. He's like the corniest cornball. He wears these turtlenecks like every episode. He wears the skinny jeans, and he's just lame. He is the dude who has been washed. He's been put through the washer a few times, and all the season ends out.
Okay, Jeff. Like,
well, that's how they like
honestly,
it. That's how they like it.
I mean, the first Black Bachelor, and the show's been on since Survivor, right? Or soon after.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was one of the first few.
Yeah.
The Bachelor was one of the first few reality shows that we ever got. That was one of ABC's first joints, right? So
when they go to the archive footage, it looks really old when they show like the first few seasons. Like, gosh, how old was this?
Right, we were like in college, all right. So
Did
think about that.
Exist?
Right. So it looks fuzzy as hell. So
right.
And then the first one is in 2020. How long has The Bachelor been on? Almost 20 years. 2021. Yeah, almost 20 years. So think about that. So what do you expect the first Black Bachelor going to be on this stupid ass ABC racist ass show? I mean, come on, man. Like they gonna have like I'm surprised. That dude, that cheesing ass dude from where is he in Michigan? Trying to stop Black History Month on that's his platform. You know what I mean? I'm surprised they ain't got that. I mean, that's the kind of Bama we got right here, right? Is he showing his? I don't watch the show, so is he showing his pearly whites a lot? Is he shucking and jiving a lot?
I mean, he's just corny. He's super corny. And so
I don't know the dude, man. We might be 2 degrees of separation, but.
No, dude, he is that dude in school that would have no friends that you'd be like, yeah. You wouldn't be surprised that his best friends didn't look like him.
Okay. I mean, listen to this. Like, listen, I actually, now watching a season, it's like, this guy also is not just he's corny. It's like, it's like, you hear him talking to girls, it's like, dude, do you know how to actually have a conversation? It's like, I agree. He just like, it's like 2 seconds, then I make out. It's like, what? The camera's over. Like, you're going to have to hold a conversation, and they're going to be like, I don't live on everything you say, man. Like, what do you have to say about yourself? And it's just like,
wow.
I mean, it's just like, dude, he's not. And the problem, and another thing is like they were saying like, because he's the first Black Bachelor, the ratings are down, word of mouth. I'm like, I just watched Colton's season. Like, Colton's actually got drama in his season. He's entertaining. Matt is. I'm gonna brood. Pause every time I do a rose ceremony before I remember.
He's terrible.
It's like, man, dude, it's like if you wanted to do a drinking game to his drink, you're not making it an episode.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, like, hey, how many times is he gonna have nothing to say and then make out with a girl? Awkward pause. Shot. First half hour.
I don't understand. Wasn't there some cool brothers when the black chick was on there?
Gunner.
So why didn't they use? Because a few times I watched that. Because, Allison was watching it, so I had to watch it. And then I was like, okay, there's some brothers on here. As soon as the last brother was on there, I'm like, I ain't watching this no more. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as he
Riley needs to be the next.
They love to ill represent us in everything.
For real.
They're not going to show
cool
you
brothers
a
on that
smooth, sophisticated, suave brother on there that can talk some white girl out her drawers because they don't want to show that.
They don't want to
see that.
They don't want to show the truth.
There was a dude. His name was Mike. He was on Hannity. The Joker was cool, and when they did like the men tell all deal, and he got to talk to Chris Harrison and all the ladies in the audience, you can literally hear the perspiration in the audience every time he talked, and the ladies started screaming. I was like, why don't y'all just make
Man, he was probably one of them dudes. If you would threw one of them girls' panties against the wall, they'd have stuck. See, here's the thing. They don't want that guy. They don't want that black man on there.
Not on national TV on ABC. Come on, man. They would have had letters, all kinds of Proud Boys would have just stormed the island or wherever.
Hey, because these guys would have stopped their girlfriends and wives from watching The Bachelor after that.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Killing our women that we can't get, no way.
I will say this about Matt. He is a corny dude. They've had corny bachelors before. It's just he's such a whack dude to be the first black bachelor. He is the absolutely safest dude they could have picked. He is biracial. His mom is white, so it's like, listen, it's okay.
So we got the acceptable. We got the acceptable dude. Oh,
right. He's kind of like
that. This is the paper bag test.
Yeah, this is like the age.
Well, he's not.
No.
He's not fair. You wouldn't think, is he? You definitely see this dude and like he's black, but it's definitely one of those cases of like, man, I just wish they could have, like you said, Riley. Riley's a dude that should have, because he was cool. He had like actual.
I think that was the dude.
Yeah, I'm like,
and it doesn't help. It's like Matt. It's like, unfortunately, it's like his father wasn't around. It's like,
exactly.
Come on,
it's like, guys,
you gotta hit a stereotype so the whiteys can watch it more. Oh my God.
It's just like, guys. It's like. Yeah, the dude, he looks like he works out and all that, but it's like, come on, guys. If you guys want to have actual better ratings and people watching the show, because I know for years, I'm like, I would never watch the show. It's like, there's never been a black bachelor, so there's nobody I can support, and probably every 5 times it's going to be like, after 5 episodes, all the black people are gone. So it's nothing I'm interested in watching, but it's like, then you come up with the first black bachelor, it's like, hey, we are trying to make this guy safe, and he's not offensive at all. It's just like he's not. It's like he's not offensive because it's like he's a guy you sit at the bar, you talk to for a couple minutes, and it's like, all right, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get a drink.
He's flavorless.
Dang, I didn't even know until right now that this was the first one. I heard it was coming, but I didn't know. They always say that, like, right? They're like, when are we gonna have it? Where are we gonna have it? Where are we gonna have it? They've
now had 2 black bachelorettes. The first one, Rachel.
Yeah, 2 black.
Had 2 black parents. They were very successful. Her dad was a doctor. I think her mom was a lawyer. She was a lawyer.
That's okay to show black women
totally against the grain of what you'd expect. And
they ain't gonna put Black China up there.
No, they weren't. But she was. I don't understand.
I don't see no Vanessa Blues
as a black person.
As
a black person, I didn't feel like she represented us poorly on TV. She didn't act rashy. She was totally like, yes, thank you for not making a spectacle of yourself because you're on TV. The only thing was she didn't pick a black dude at the end. It was like, come on, man.
Well, that's the thing, but what I mean. I knew that was gonna happen. I was hoping. I was like, the last 3? Okay, I'll watch that. Oh, dang.
Yeah, because Eric was cool too. I was like, y'all should have made Eric the Bachelor. He was cool. They've had.
I don't know any other brothers on that one. Yeah, that's what I was like. Any other brothers on that one should have been the first one right after. But they don't want to see. They love seeing it the other way around because slavery. But this way, they don't like this. They need us subdued, man. ABC on that other stuff, man.
But I think right now ABC is about to feel the fire because Rachel's like, I am so tired of this franchise. I'm so effing done. I have tried to keep the franchise. I told them we need more black producers. I was going to quit if they didn't have a black bachelor. They got a black bachelor. But they're still not doing enough. They're still showing the white girls on TV more than the black girls as if they're more interesting. And, they need to do more. And once my contract's up, I'm out. Chris Harrison.
Shonda rolled out too. Hey,
Shonda she did.
Netflix.
Chris Harrison is gone from after the final rose. He's not showing up. He's like, I'm going to step back. I would assume that ABC is going to throw all the money they can, and it's a lot, at Rachel to do that after the final rose. But I'm curious now with this controversy surrounding the shroud of racism and darkness over The Bachelor, if we're going to see another black bachelorette and bachelor.
Never.
Would you guys watch this?
Never. No, and they will never do it.
Yeah, because number one, they're never going to show us anyway. They're going to show the sanitized version of what they want to show, the very sanitized version of a black man or woman that they want to show and promote. And I'm not
Rachel wasn't like a fantasy though. Rachel was. Rachel wasn't a fantasy. She was a professional. She didn't fit the box of stereotypes that you would see.
Yeah, but did she choose a white guy?
She chose a Latino dude, so she didn't choose a white guy.
Oh, that's all right. All right, that's
all right.
With that.
was he legit like a Latino guy, or was he a white guy with a Latino?
Oh yeah, was he like?
Nah, he was legit. He was, speaking Spanish.
Okay.
She was from Miami. The whole deal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real.
He was a cool dude. I was just like, yo, come on, pick the black dude, because I like the black guy, Eric, on that.
I mean, they are cousins. I'll leave it at that. You know.
So she was cool. The second bachelorette that they chose, she was cool. I would advise you take a look at her season.
You said the first one or the second
one? The second one, Tayshia.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the last season of Bachelorette.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't watch these joints, man. So I mean, as long as they
got
got a sister,
she was
a normal sister.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with her at all.
So why
Rachel kind of has some
that's
issues.
Just normal.
Why
can't they just get a brother that's normal, like Naked Beach, Naked Dating? Remember that Naked Dating show? They had normal black dudes on there. It was just not a normal situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
All these other reality shows.
That's because it was VH1. This is network TV. They are not trying to show us.
This is a normal dude. Hey, I'm a management consulting from Atlanta.
I'm just a normal.
Right.
They do not want to show us like that, dude.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
All right. Okay, guys. Because each one of the Bachelor usually has this very nice job. You know, you actually have it's kind of if a woman could make her the guy I was just talking about, he was a former football player. They need you have to have a decent job, or at least a decent job before you take 2 months off from it. They kind of hey, you have to look like an attractive in game for the Bachelorettes.
Yeah.
So if it's that's less of I'm Riley. I mean Riley was a New York attorney. I'm guys, if you don't have him in the next 3, you guys are just foolish. You guys are throwing money away. It's just if you want to have it, hey, we have, I mean, it's that's the kind of thing they probably need to do. It's hey, Rachel, he's in our running. He's in the next 3 if he's not married to somebody else. If they didn't scoop him up off this show, he came up perfect in that show.
And so did Ivan.
Oh yeah, Ivan too. I mean, I didn't like how that ending went at all.
Yeah, it was trash. But Devon, these last few seasons, the black dudes who, because typically, like Gunner said, they show up and they're gone within 4 weeks, so the Bachelorette doesn't look racist. So, because normally it was hey, come on, what are you doing here? Gone in the first week. Now it's all right, well, let me not look like I'm racist. I'll have them on 4 weeks, maybe 5, just to be generous. The dudes that they had on Tayshia's season, the last one, and Claire, who kind of started the season before she left the season early to get with the black dude. Claire is still the Bachelorette hero because she chose the black dude and was I don't need to do the show. I found a black dude I want to be with. I'm good. So she quit and rolled out with the black dude. 3 episodes in. Yeah, she was what am I even doing here? She met him on the first night and said, I think I met my husband. I don't need to do this thing. And she was basically for 3 weeks checked out. And they were all right, we got to replace her with somebody else. So they had other black dudes on the show. Yeah. And then they, so he was a shady dude, but he's a football player, so it was like, he's a pretty boy, and it was just like, yeah, you're going too far and too fast for this dude. But they've had black dudes on there. It's like, yeah, these guys are totally fine. They represent us well. I'm not embarrassed to see them on TV. Matt is, yeah, and Matt is just, he is probably ABC dipping their toes, seeing what the reception is going to be. And apparently, the last few episodes, they started equating for the, hey, this is the ratings after 3 days where people start watching from their DVRs. They've seen the ratings go on the rise a bit. So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, he's not going to rape and pillage our women. And honestly, he's gotten rid of most of the white women at this point. There is a 50% chance that whoever he chooses is going to be a black woman. There's only one white girl left, and I don't remember what Serena's ethnicity is, but there's a 75% chance he's going to pick a minority. So not bad. Cool. Yeah, that was a long conversation. I did not expect to go as long, but that was good stuff, fellas. I appreciate it. I was going to get into Big Brother, but let's do that next time. For now, I was going to talk about Mortal Kombat 2, but let's wait till the trailer drops tomorrow. And it's going to be the best trailer in the history of trailers just because we're going to record it and wrap this up tonight. Who are your nominees, fellas, for Dummies of the Week? Sage, you want to go first?
As always.
As always.
Yeah. Okay. So, as we have, a lot of you guys haven't seen, we don't talk about our usual DC and all the other CW shows. So we branched out a lot onto our TV view. One of mine has been a show called Married at First Sight.
We should talk about too.
I did.
Who was laughing like that?
If you guys weren't on, we'd have been on reality shows all day. So this one is my dummy of the week is for this season. One of the contestants named Chris. When Chris came on, he said, "Hey, I want to make some honeymoon babies," and he told this to everybody within earshot of the bride. He was going for some honeymoon babies. He was going to make a legacy.
Jace, I think it's important to explain the concept of Married at First Sight.
Oh yeah, like literally, people, the first time they actually meet each other is literally at their wedding. They say, "Hey, how you doing? I'm going to now be your bride or groom." That's it. Yeah, husband or wife. This is where we are. And you got 8 weeks to figure out if it's really a match made in heaven. Well, the girl who got Chris did not get a match made in heaven. She got the turds of the turds of the turds. Because man Chris, again, said, "Hey, I'm trying to make some honeymoon babies." And basically, one of his worst lines was, "I need a submissive freak as my wife." So later, the first time he meets her, he tells her this ridiculousness. And then the kicker of last week's show. He's got, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, here's the other thing. Oh, yeah, I used to have a fiance, it's June and February, but I'm ready. So they actually get to the honeymoon. And then he gets a call and say, "Hey, guess what? New wife of 2 days." So that was my ex-fiance called, "She's pregnant. You want to stick around and hang out with me for 8 more weeks before you know this is trash?" And then every now and then he's an emotional guy. So he's, sad that everybody's not supporting him. The fact that he's got, baby mama on the way. And they're actually supporting his wife way more than him. What the heck is wrong with them? And it's like, okay, and he's asking, like, "Hey, do you think you want to stick around?" And to her credit, she's a good Christian woman, and just like, I know God has a plan for this, but it's almost like if another shoe drops, lady, I'm gonna need you to say, "I am gone,"
or you're gonna be my dummy of the week.
Yeah, you. I hate to say this, if you stick around way more time than the folks in DC after Zach decided he was peacing out.
Right.
Mandy, yeah, you hit because Chris is just like, why aren't they supporting me as much? Because it's hard out here.
That was the best. He was like, why can't they support me?
Hey, we got you. I don't really want to talk to you about this. What the heck am I supporting you for, you loser?
Oh, man.
Right now, though, after that, Mr. Chris is my dummy of the week.
Indeed. I will second that nomination. I don't have another choice that's better than Chris. Gunner, do you have one?
I mean, not really one. I'm just going to throw out anybody in charge of Texas Energy Power Grid. What the hell? Why? I mean, it's all it's a mixed bag. It's definitely like certain laws and regulations. Certain Republicans just saying, "Oh, deal with it" or whatever. Perry's talking like, "Oh, we were trying to keep the feds out." What? People ain't got power because your grid sucks, and so when you get a cold snap, because Mother Nature, global warming or not, Mother Nature might just be like, "Hey, snow tonight." Like, you know what I mean? Global warming or not, this is what's going to happen, right? Like, so why would you? I mean, and then let's be clear: in the heat, the antithesis will happen, power. So I just don't understand. I do understand. There's a lot of angles here, but the fact that this is happening, I blame it on greed. I blame it on it's not even renewable energy because they can't do anything. There ain't no windmills. Well, windmills are frozen, right? So I mean, you know what I mean? It's just such a cluster. I'm sorry, dude, such a clusterfuck that you can't really point fingers, but everybody's pointing fingers and not solving the problem, and people are dying, just like COVID. So I just can't with this whole this is our grid. We're independent. That whole mentality down there is ridiculous. I was checking on my family and friends. People seem to be cool. It's just they got stories to tell. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just don't understand how this can possibly still happen in the United States, and it's not the Great Depression era. Like, what in the hell? So
another sad piece of that, Gunner? You have an alarming number of people who are inadvertently killing themselves because they're lighting their grills in their houses or sitting in their cars in the garage because they're trying to heat themselves.
Yeah, because they've never haven't gone through this before, right?
They haven't gone through this. Yeah.
Right. So they're like, oh, let's just do this. And, when I was in Atlanta, I saw some hilarious things. Nothing like this, but some hilarious things when we had an ice storm. We're trying to dig each other out the ice, caning two trucks together, and, the inevitability of that. That kind of hilariousness. But this was like, okay, you're unprepared, but first of all, why are you unprepared? I mean, you're governing people. It's such a clusterfuck. I'm sorry. It's just I know it's a lot of factors involved, and none of those factors are doing the right thing, obviously. Mm-hmm. So all of that is a dummy of the week. All of that whole state.
Chief, how about you?
We're gonna take Gorilla Glue Girl for 500 over here.
She's gonna make another comeback this week.
The shiny tortoise shell head she had and couldn't penetrate it with the comb. I don't even know if he was. And then the funny thing is, after that, it became a Gorilla Glue challenge, where other people started gluing things with Gorilla Glue and sticking it on themselves to see if it actually Gorilla Glue held like that. So yeah, Gorilla Glue Girl, and then everybody else who came after that, gluing Dutch cups, solo cups to your lips and stuff. So yeah. that's my dummy of the week.
That's a good choice.
Why can't we just take the word? Oh my God! Why couldn't we just take a word for it? That's the example. We'll need to put this in a further testing. It's proven.
Let me check.
All right, I got two. Well, this is three because of who's involved. Number one, Riff Raff and Tekashi 6ix9ine, because if they do pull off this boxing match, I'll say this. I reverse that. It's not them. It's anybody who's interested in seeing this. I know people hate Tekashi 6ix9ine and they hate Riff Raff, And if they were to do this little boxing event, this would probably be on pay-per-view for like $50, $60 a pop to watch the spectacle, right? But these two guys are hated in the community, right? They're hated. People will pay to see it, but that's jokes on you because you're actually putting money in their pockets, and they won't go away if you do this. Stop looking. It'll go away if you stop looking. So anybody who's showing any interest in that, the millions of people who are chiming in and trying to get this to be a real thing, stop doing it. Let this die. Let this go away. My other is going to be Lil Bow Wow because for some reason he thinks people are interested in him joining the WWE. And,
oh, God, I forgot about that. Oh, my God.
Hey,
I forgot about that.
What was my man Cornswoggle? What was his name?
Hornswoggle.
Yeah, we don't need Black Cornswoggle, man. We good. We had that. They did the short man angle. We don't need another. That's
How
mine.
did I miss that, Javon? Just
I don't know if I'd say you missed it, bro. Who's your last one, King?
I want to say that's it, Jeff. Or that and anybody like the last 2 or 3 years we've had young black students coming out of high school that have like dozens of college scholarships at being offered to them. And we have people who are actually saying disparaging things about these kids, and not even in a joking manner, but it's like, what was the one I heard, this last young lady, people were saying, well, she's taking up space for other students. It's like, no, she's not, because they're making scholarship offers. This is not how this works. The school makes an offer of a scholarship, they extend an offer of a scholarship, and it's up to the student to accept it. It's not. She's not taking anything from anyone. She earned what she's being offered.
Hey, Javon, she's taking up all those rooms.
Yeah, I bet she is. I bet she is. Here's the thing. If you don't want to see that happen, do something about it, like, do better. Or instead of being upset with this young lady for being offered all of these scholarships, why don't you acknowledge that this kid is doing something right? This kid's doing something amazing here. It's not often that we see that kind of academic achievement where 50 to 60 of the top universities in the country are offering this kid a scholarship. That's kudos. Give her a congratulations instead of trying to shame her because she's so-called taking something away from somebody. She's taking away nothing from anybody. She earned what she got. Maybe you're mad because you didn't earn nothing you had.
It's easy to hate, Javon.
Easy to hate.
All right, well, fellas, thank you as always. This was a very fun show. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about next week because there was just too much to get in on The Bachelor. And yeah, hopefully y'all can spend a couple days watching Married at First Sight so we can talk about our boy Chris because he is TV podcast gold. All right, thank y'all for rolling with me as always. Thank y'all out there for listening. This episode of Lyle's Movie Files has been filed.